everyone. Welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love experience. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for taking the time to heal. Thank you for taking the time to be right here, right now, to be grounded, to be mindful. Thank you for shining your light. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge with the collective. Thank you for helping others within our collective. Thank you for helping humanity. Thank you for choosing to become your best version and choosing to dive deeper within yourself, within your journey, within your soul. Thank you for taking risk. Thank you for being fearless. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being divinely confident. Thank you for living righteously. Thank you for standing up for what is right. Thank you for being unique and an individual. Thank you for just being who you are. I love you. I'm grateful that you are here. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for you and connecting with you. I'm grateful to serve you. I'm grateful to be here again to connect with you, to serve you, and to help you on your journey. It is a true honor and pleasure. Thank you so much. My name is Nicole. Today's pick a card. We are going to dive into the toxicity and negativity that lies within your family. Now, this is not an opportunity to take this as a time for gossiping or for oh yeah, I know people in my family are doing this and people in my family are on that type of time. And that's not what this is about. This is about getting the truth out and getting some solutions to the problems. We're going to be talking about what are some of the toxic traits within the family so we can get the truth out and be aware of this. And maybe some of you could already be aware of some of these things, and this is just to give more clarity or bring more enlightenment and awareness to the issue so healing can begin. Because if we don't acknowledge these things and we don't acknowledge that this is the truth of the situation, the healing really cannot begin. It's like you're just going around and around and nothing is really being solved. So this is about getting the truth of the matter, and I'm going to channel some solutions, some actionable solutions that you can use to help you and your family move forward in a healthy way. Because if we're not healing our families, we're missing out on opportunities to create more wealth and abundance for the family, for your lineage. And this is, again, this could be whatever family it is for you. This could be soul family. This could be blood family. Whatever you feel is your family, or whatever is resonating in the reading. This could also be in-laws. And again, blood family, soul family, friends family, whatever the family situation is for you. There are no rules here. Your journey is your journey. You take what resonates for you and, act accordingly with that information, okay? So let's get going here. Pile 1. And, this is actually a request from someone in the capital LOVE tribe. It was kind of like I don't know if I got a chance to respond to it, but I saw it. I just want to say that, I saw a couple of people mentioning, family pick-a cards. So I was told to do it this way. Toxic traits, toxicity, negativity within the family, and, how to heal that, okay? So pile 1, toxic traits, negativity, toxicity in the family for pile 1, please. Pile 1. And again, shout out to the capital LOVE tribe. I love you guys. Pile 1. Okay. Respect your physical body. All right, that's pile 1. Pile 2, please. Toxicity, negativity within the family for pile 2. Okay. Focus on children. Okay. These cards are so beautiful. Pile 3, please. Toxicity, negativity, toxic traits in the family for pile 3. Pile 3, please. Pile 3. Okay. Be thankful. Okay. Okay. Okay, pile 1, respect your body. Respect your physical body. Pile 2, focus on children. Pile 3, be thankful. Excuse me. Timestamps will be linked below. Okay. If you need to pause the video, feel free to do so. If you feel called to choose more than one pile, that is okay. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust your judgment. If you would like to book a personal reading, that information is also linked below within the description box. I love you, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome. Welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love experience. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to heal. Thank you for taking the time to be grounded, to be mindful. If you will, please take some deep breaths and allow yourself to receive this information, and allow yourself to be open to receiving this information as it will resonate for you in your journey, okay? I'm sending you so much love. My name is Nicole. Let's get into this. You chose respect your physical body. Detox, rejuvenate, relax, okay? So let's talk about the toxicity in the family. Now, in the opening, I said, in case you missed it, but I said that this is about getting the truth of the situation, getting down to the truth, and having that enlightenment and awareness around toxic traits, negativity within your family. Now, this could be blood family, this could be friends that are family, this could be soul family, or this could be in-laws. Whatever it is for you, how this resonates for you in your journey. No one can tell you how to fit this for you, okay? There are no rules here. You fit this for your situation, okay? So with respect to your physical body, there is a lack of respect for the physical body here. This is a toxic trait within the family, meaning that there is a lack of like self-care. There's a lack of like physical self-care, mental self-care, emotional self-care. Say, for example, like your family, they will physically take care of themselves. Like physically, they're really good with their hygiene, or they're good about exercising, or they're pretty good about eating healthy, but there's no emotional self-care. No one talks about their emotions. There's a lack of understanding around emotional intelligence, or there's disconnects with like emotional processing. Or say, for example, that there is this connection with emotions and like people being able to express emotions freely and understand emotions and process emotions and hold space for each other. But there's a lack of self-care when it comes to the physical body. Like members of the family don't get enough rest. They don't eat healthy. People could be overweight. People could not just like take care of themselves hygienically. Things like that. There's a lack of respect for either the mental body, emotional body, or physical body, or all of the above, okay? Because it's going to be different for everyone. So that is a toxic trait that is coming through right now. We're going to get some more out, but this is a big one because, and especially when it says here physical body, for some of you, this could be, again, the physical body is really, there's toxicity around that. Like it could be like indulgent behavior, like over drinking, overeating, overuse of drugs, things that can directly harm the physical body. Okay, so for some of you, this could be so deeply wounded within your family where it's like members of the family expire at a younger age because of like the toxicity around that, like not taking care of their physical body. Say, for example, it could be a situation where, like members of your family have died or, expired, passed away due to like physical and environmental situations like physical violence or environmental situations like someone, was smoking and they got cancer, things like that. So this is being exposed because this is something embedded within your lineage and it's like it's generational. So it's like you're being asked to change the story around that, to have this high level of respect for your physical body, taking care of your physical body or mental body or emotional body or all of the above, and having a healthier lifestyle, having a cleaner lifestyle, having a balance between work and your social life or work and family, having that time to rejuvenate, taking time to relax, taking care of yourself, really taking care of yourself. Say, for example, some of you could have family members that, like they will work so much, like they will work like more than 40 hours a week, or they will work like every day. And that's detrimental to the physical body because the physical body is not having a chance to regroup, regenerate, refresh, relax, rejuvenate, working all the time. That's detrimental to your physical health. So for some of you, there could be like health issues in your family because of the lack of respect to the physical body. Okay, let's get some more. Let's find out toxicity within, toxic traits within the family for pile 1. Okay, pile 1. 3 of staves. So that's 3 of wands. Princess of sacred circles. 10 of sacred circles. So that's 10 of pentacles, and that's princess of pentacles or page of pentacles. And 9 of cups, okay? All right. And you know what? These images are almost identical here. Look at that. The 10 of pentacles here and the respect your physical body. It's this like winter type, and it's the winter vibe. And it's like, winter is a time, it's a season, of course, but it's more than that. It's the frequency, the energy around winter is all about slowing down. It's all about preparation. It's all about rest. It's all about like rejuvenation, taking that time. Like the cycle of the body should change within each season, but particularly for winter, winter is about slowness, stillness, preparation, connectivity, connecting with your loved ones because it's cold outside. So it's like you're not really outside. You should be inside more. You should be more connected, things like that. So with that coming up, and that's 10 of Pentacles, that's a family card. That's about having that fulfillment and connection within a family and having that wholeness within a family. So there is a disconnect with that, okay? And for some of you, what I'm seeing here, especially with this imagery here, where it's like this village, part of the toxic traits is, for some of you, what I'm seeing is like, to the outside, your family looks really connected. This may not be for everyone, but this is for some of you. From the outside looking in, your family looks so connected, there for each other, down for each other. But when you go behind those walls, when you go in the inside, when it's like it's just you and your family, this could be further from the truth. Like the outside narrative is everyone's got each other's back. We ride or die for each other. We're down with each other. We take care of each other. But on the outside, the inside is like cutthroat behavior, backstabbing, jealousy, envy. And part of the toxic trait here is like more about, there's more focus about what it looks on the outside versus what it looks like on the inside. Say, for example, for some of you, this is coming through. Say, for example, like people in your family work out all the time, people in your family eat healthy, or like, like it comes across like your family's, it looks really good physically, like people take care of themselves, people, eat healthy, they exercise, and they're doing a good job with their self-care, their physical self-care. But on the inside, emotionally, mentally, things are crashing down. There's this disconnect. There's just seems to be this disconnect, pile one, where it's like the outside looks really glamorous and the outside looks really all together. But on the inside, people in the family don't trust each other. People in the family are envious of each other. People in the family do not really have each other's back the way it looks and presents to the outer public. And so for some of you, this could be a situation where your family is in the spotlight, okay? Because I am getting that for some of you. Whether this is publicly, like in a community setting, or, on social media, or like a public platform, that could be the case for some of you as well. But I do see here this image that your family has within the public and the image that the family has behind closed doors. And there's a huge difference there. There's a huge disparity. It's like people may think that your family is super close, but that could be further from the truth. There's a lot of envy, jealousy, and backstabbing energy behind those closed doors. And that is something that's very toxic because, again, on the outside, the family is making it look like everything is just so great. But on the inside, that's not the case. So that is a toxic trait that's coming through for someone here. I'm also getting with this Page of Pentacles, this Princess of Sacred Circles, there's just this energy of sadness on the inside. Like there's a lot of like the outer world and inner world. What appears is going on in the outer world is totally different from the inner world. And say, for example, like for some of you, like there are unhealthy habits with the physical body, like we were talking about before. But it's like there's also, again, that sadness on the inside. Like I'm just getting for some of you, especially with looking at this picture here, it's almost just like suffering on the inside. Like, but no one wants to talk about what they're suffering about, or no one wants to talk about the sadness. I'm getting this like avoidant pattern, or like no one really feels safe to express what exactly they're feeling or what exactly is going on, or how to move forward. Because this Three of Wands here, this is about forward momentum here, moving forward and expanding. And what I'm getting here is like there's been generations of your family gets to a certain point and then it just like stalls out. Like things just don't, it's almost like things can move pretty quickly and then it just stops. And then no one really knows how to like, it's kind of just like it's a plateau, and it's kind of like you and your family really can't get over that plateau. Now, this could be related to like a number of things. It could be related to like the connections within the family. It could be related to money. It could be related to like business, or just like individual situations within the family. Let's get some more because this is very interesting here. I feel that the dynamic with your family, again, I feel that some of you, it's like people see you and your family as like the best family ever. People may even feel like you and your family are like goals, or like something about celebrations, something about parties. like you and your family, you all can entertain, you can have great gatherings, bringing people together, connecting people. But on the inside, people are suffering. And, no one really knows how to open up about that. And people in the family don't feel safe. Toxic traits for Pile 1, okay, in their family. Toxic traits and negativity for Pile 1 and Pile 1's family, please, okay? Pile 1's family. Toxic traits and negativity for Pile 1's family. Okay, so these cards could be a bit triggering. So I'm just going to say that. Just trigger warning. I don't know what's here, but we'll see, okay? Mother wounds. Who is lying? Hypocrite. The secret lies in the grave. Look at the eyes. Time to forgive. A degree don't make you smarter. Okay. They want your mate. Divine intervention. And trigger alert. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this. So, all right. Negative traits and toxic traits here. Okay. So we have here mother wounds. Okay. So with that being said, there's issues here around the feminine, okay, the mother. There's been generations here of wounding with the feminine energy within the family, okay? So what I'm getting from this Pile 1, this is saying that for some of you, there may be domineering mother figures here or controlling mother figures here, or situations of judgmental or critical mother figures here. And this is something that's generational. So this is a generational pattern. It could be a situation for some of you that the mother figures have been, again, very critical, very harsh, very judgmental, or very controlling, domineering, wanting things to look a certain way. Again, there is a big thing here around appearances, how it looks on the outside, how people view the family or whatever is going on from the outer world, okay? Not really what's going on the inside. It's like, say, for example, you have a beautiful house, okay? And like people drive by and they see this beautiful house and it's a manicured lawn and you have beautiful flowers and it just looks so beautiful, so lovely. And it's like, wow, that must be like if someone drives past this house, they would think like, that house must be gorgeous on the inside. It's just so gorgeous on the outside. But you open the door and the house is a mess. Like stuff is everywhere. Things are just completely, just like things thrown all over the place. There's no type of upkeep inside the house. Like the house is almost like a trash can on the inside. But on the outside, it's just gorgeous. It's the best house ever. It's kind of like that. It's like, as long as everyone thinks that this house is the most beautiful house on the block, that's all we need to worry about. The inside could be just going to hell and who cares? As long as everyone thinks that this is just great, that's all that we care about. So a mother figure or mother figures or feminine figures could have that type of energy that's been placed within the family of the outer appearances and what things look like, especially to the public. And especially there's this energy here of like impressing the public or impressing people. Because again, for some of you, I do feel that your family has some sort of spotlight. Again, that's not for everyone. And again, spotlight is not just like being on a public platform on the public stage. It could be within your community. It could be within your city or where you live, your neighborhood, where it's like, people look at your family and it's like, wow, that's a great family. They have a beautiful family. And not to say that you don't have a beautiful family. That's not what this is about. But there is some sort of spotlight on your family, okay? To to which degree that is, that's different for everyone. And so with that being said, there is this importance of how it looks to the outer world. And that is very toxic. And that's causing a lot of toxicity within the family. And for many of you, this has started from a mother, a feminine energy. And again, this could be a mother-in-law, this could be a grandmother, a mother, a great-grandmother, a feminine energy within the family, or more than one, because I do feel that this is generational for some of you. Like this could be like 3 generations of this, or 4, So there is this toxic trait around people lying to each other. And I was feeling that before, that like there is like this secret competition or secret lying around individuals lying about maybe how much money they make, or the type of things that they're able to do, or the type of things that they have. Because again, a lot of this is about that appearance, especially going back to that first card where we're talking about physical body. That's like physical appearance. Your physical body, that's what you present to the world. So that's representing physical appearances here, as we've been talking about. So individuals lie about certain things in your family to appear to be better off than what they are. Say, for example, someone is going through a tough situation, whereas like, obviously, this is a difficult time for that individual in the family. Like it could be like a death, or like a serious life change, whereas like, that person is probably going through it. This person presents to the family, oh, I'm okay, nothing's wrong, I got this, don't worry about it, we don't need to talk about it. Things like that. Like individuals in the family are lying about their emotions, or lying about their feelings, or lying about certain things to appear to be a certain way in front of everyone, instead of being open and honest about what they're going through. And it's like, I'm not saying like this is toxic because it's unhealthy, because individuals are burying their true emotions, which can cause physical ailments and physical sickness. That is like, I feel it's a fact. Some people may disagree with that, but I firmly believe when individuals continue to not process their emotions, those things manifest into physical pain and physical sicknesses and ailments. So that's toxic when you're lying about what is really going on with you, or, brushing it off because you don't know how to deal with it. And for some of you, again, there is a situation where people don't feel safe to hold space for each other because of lying or deception, or because they feel that the backstabbing energy. So we do have hypocritical energy here as well. So this is saying, again, going back to that judgmental criticism, critical behavior that we were talking about. And again, this could originate from the feminine energies within the family. So it's hypocritical behavior, or it's, this person is able to do that and they don't get judged, but someone else does the same thing and people in the family are judging them. That's what I'm picking up on. People not being able to forgive each other, that's also a toxic trait. When people are not able to have that compassion and empathy and show that forgiveness to each other, that energy just continues to circle around. It doesn't go anywhere. It's like, it's just like you're just doing this. You're just going around and around and around. And that energy it's bouncing from this family member to this family member to this family member, where people in the family don't feel compassionate or empathetic to muster up the energy for forgiveness, because there's a lack of compassion and empathy, because it's a situation where it's like, well, I had to deal with that, so what's your excuse? Or, why should I forgive you? No one forgave me when I went through the same thing. That type of energy, that's toxic. That's not helping the family move forward. Because again, as we saw with that other card, that 3 of Wands is about expansion. And for many of you with your family, it's a situation where I see the family gets to a certain point, whether this is materially, whether this is spiritually, emotionally, mentally, wherever this is. For many of you, this could be a more of a focus on material wealth, and things plateau. Things just kind of either they plateau or they just fall down. And it's because of the emotions that lie within that are not being processed, not being forgiven. There's no empathy, or there's a lack of empathy. There's a lack of compassion for each other and each other's experiences. Okay. And again, when you are not having, you don't have that moment where you can say, you know, I really forgive you, that energy is still existing and it's just going to keep going. And it's not even just with your generation, it's going to go to the next generation and the next generation. And it's just going to keep going until someone decides to change the story. Okay, so, you know, many of you may be, you know, if you're here, you know, you are becoming aware of this for a reason. So you can change the story and you can develop empathy, or more empathy and more compassion, and forgive. Because when you start it, other people will do it. It's not a situation where you have to say, hey, I'm forgiving everyone in the family for what they did. You could do that, but it's an energy. People feel that energy. People feel that energy of Pile One doesn't judge. Pile One has compassion. Pile One is forgiving. And if Pile One can do it, I can open myself up to do it. So it's an energy, and it does shift the frequency and the dynamic within the family. Even if you cannot see it immediately, it happens, okay? So there is toxicity here around competition for, like, a person's spouse, or, you know, partner or mate here, okay? For some of you, I am picking up on, like, sisters competing for the same guy, or brothers competing for the same, you know, lady, or just there's a competition here, or it's just like this jealousy around when someone gets a good partner. People in the family are jealous, or people in the family are critical of, like, what that person is doing for, you know, that particular person, or there's some type of jealousy around that. I'm just definitely feeling, and for some of you, this definitely could be competition for the same person. Like, for some of you, it could be like some individuals in the family dated the same person, you know, and then it ended up working out with one of the family members and it didn't work out with the other family member, something like that. And it's not toxic, you know, if, you know, everyone's story is different here, you know, but it's toxic when people are competing or jealous of someone's relationship. That's what makes it toxic. Like, there's so many individuals here on this planet where no one should have to compete, especially in a family, for the same person. Like, and for some of you, this does exist, and this has existed for more than one generation. Something else that's coming through pretty strongly is secrets that are taken to the grave. Okay, so for some of you, there are family secrets here, and you know, this is not a personal reading, but I am picking up on, like, family secrets on how a certain person passed away, or family secrets around, like, certain things that happen, like, again, like betrayal or jealousy or backstabbing. Like, for some of you, I am getting, like, a situation where it could have been like a brother was married to his wife and another brother slept with that wife, you know, behind that brother's back. Things like that. Because I am, again, getting, like, jealousy around a partner, secret competitions around a partner, secrets around how a certain person passed away, secrets around some type of backstabbing type, like backstabbing with a business deal or backstabbing with a career situation, things like that. There's also this trait around a know-it-all behavior, meaning, like, certain people in the family feel like maybe a degree has made them smarter than everyone else, or because they have a certain career, they're smarter than everyone else, or because they have a certain level of prestige, they're smarter or they're better than everyone else. So there is also that energy too, and the energy of those particular individuals making other individuals feel inadequate, feel less than, because, maybe a certain cousin was able to achieve a degree and another cousin or another brother or sister was not able to get that degree, and this person that has the degree may rub it in, or kind of like, yeah, I have a degree, so I know this. And there's something like that. People, and it may not be with a degree, but certain know-it-all behavior is making people in the family feel inadequate. Now, this is not about dimming your light to make someone feel better about themselves. It's not that. This is like certain individuals in the family purposefully making other people, bringing up their experiences or bringing up their achievements to purposely just die. So some of you may, again, there may just need to be that time that you take to recharge, rest, recharge yourself, regenerate and recuperate. You need some time for that. But anyway, that's just a personal side note. Certain individuals in the family may, purposefully, whether they are doing this subconsciously or consciously, but they may be saying certain things or mentioning certain experiences in order to belittle other individuals in the family to make themselves feel better about themselves. Like they may have their own issues around their self-worth or their own issues around their sense of value. And so that energy is projected onto other individuals in the family as, well, I have these degrees, or I have this degree, or I did this, or I was able to do that. So I know this better than anyone, or I have this experience, or, things like that. And that's something that, again, that's that individual, that's their own sense of, whether they have a sense of self-worth or their own sense of value. Okay. All right. So now that we know this information, what can you do to change the story? What can you do? Because it starts individually. Once we get the truth out, it's about now, what do we do with this information? Okay. And again, this is an individual thing. And say, for example, this could be a situation where you are not around your family as much, or you have boundaries with your family. You can still do things on your own personal journey to heal and release and move forward, because the energy still exists. Even if you're doing your own personal forgiving or your own like ancestral healing around judgment and criticism, things like that, it's your own personal journey. And if things are meant to align in a certain way, they will, and it changes the frequency of the family regardless. So it's not a situation where you have to like work with other individuals in your family in order to heal these wounds. Now, again, that is a possibility if you are in that place to want to do so, but this is your choice and your own journey. So you do what feels best for you. How can Pile One heal this, please? How can Pile One heal and move forward after knowing this information, please? Okay. Pile One. Balance yourself. Back to the basics. Tune in and connect, okay? Let's get some of these. These are going to be questions. Questions to ask yourself for healing. From your higher self or your ancestors here for healing, please. Questions for Pile One for healing. Am I consistently showing up? Where can I ask for more help in my life? How can I surrender even more in this moment? Okay. All right, Pile One. So for you to heal and move forward, because again, you see in each card, well, both of these cards, these people are alone. Okay, it's people here, but for the most part, they are alone. And I do feel for many of you, you are on your own healing journey. Clearly, you're here, so I'm proud of you for being here, and I'm proud of you for being on your journey. And for some of you, this is a personal solo situation where you will have to do your own healing internally around this before you connect with others in the family to heal, if you choose to do so. So with this balance yourself, this is about you balancing your energy. Number one, you have to integrate this. Okay, that's the first thing. Whether you knew this to be true or not, because again, some of you knew some of these things to be true. Maybe you didn't know the depth of it. Maybe you did. It's different for everyone. But you have to integrate this truth. Whatever the truth is for your situation, it has to be integrated. And you have to be honest with yourself around that. Regardless of the love that you have for these individuals, number one, we're all here doing the best we can. That's number one. We all have our own set of experiences, our set of consciousness, and we're just working with the tools that we have, and we're just all trying to do the best we can. So integrating that and integrating the truth of the situation, of the judgment, of the criticism, of how does, the appearances of it and all the other things, the jealousy, the envy, the backstabbing, integrating all of that. And now choosing to say you are going to grow beyond this and expand, okay? That truth has to be integrated in order for you to move forward. After you integrate that, now you have to go back to the basics. Now this is about centering yourself, but also grounding yourself in new energy, new programming. Meaning, like, if you've been judged, if you've been criticized, if you haven't felt like you are enough, if you felt like you had to compete for love, if you felt like, the obsession with the outer appearances and how everything looks. Some of you, again, it could have been a situation where you have family members obsessed with perfection, obsessed with making things look perfect. You're going to have to reprogram all of that. You're going to have to, and that's going to be your process, but you're going to have to tell yourself things like, I am enough. I am good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is what it is. You're going to intentionally show up as your best, intentionally do your best, intentionally have that energy around. You want to be the best that you can, but you are not perfect. And you're not going to judge yourself. You're not going to criticize yourself. You're going to hold space for yourself. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace and compassion. Because for some of you, there has been a situation where there has been a lack of grace, a lack of compassion, a lack of empathy. So you will have to teach yourself how to develop that for yourself, so you can extend that same energy to other individuals. Because if we don't give ourselves patience, grace, empathy, compassion, we are going to have certainly a very difficult time extending that to anyone. It's really true. It's difficult to have empathy and understanding and compassion for other individuals if we're not giving it to ourselves. And for some of us, we overgive it to other individuals and we give none of it to ourselves. So wherever you are on that seesaw, figure that out and balance it. Because maybe you were not taught how to give empathy or how to have compassion for other individuals because, again, the figures in your family, they didn't have it. So that wasn't something that was taught. So you're going to have to reteach yourself that. This is the time for you to tune in and connect. Tune in with your ancestors, your higher self, and tune in with your feelings, okay? Tune in with what your body is telling you. Do you need to eat healthier? Do you need to give yourself some more respect for your body? Respect your body more. Do you need to exercise? Do you need to seek therapy? Do you need to journal? Find ways to emotionally process your emotions and what you feel. Do you need to have some time to yourself to get in tune with your emotions? Because, emotional intelligence, that's something that many of us were not taught. Many of us grew up in situations where we were told to suck it up, don't cry, you're strong, move on. You know, many of us, we were taught that regardless of your background here, your ethnicity, it doesn't matter. That's been the story for so many people growing up. So getting to know yourself and taking the time to feel what you feel and acknowledge what you feel and validate what you feel. So, am I consistently showing up? Let's look at this. Some trade their dreams for comfort, yet comfort is the enemy of progress. Success requires showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels uncomfortable. It takes guts and an endless vision to stay consistent to your dream. Journal where you can be more consistent in your life in alignment with your soulful goals than show up. Okay, so some of you are being asked, like, this is what I was talking about before, that plateau energy, a lack of expansion for some of you in your family. It's like it gets to a certain point and it just kind of like plateaus and nothing moves from there. So some of you are being asked to consistently, like, are you consistently showing up to be successful? And that does not always look like grinding, hustling, working. Sometimes that is dealing with your emotional needs, dealing with your mental health, dealing with your physical health, like getting the rest that you need. Sometimes showing up is taking a day off to sleep, to rest. You know, that's not always about, oh, you got to go harder with these goals. That could be a part of it too. It's going to be different for everyone. But tune in and connect. What is your body telling you? Getting to know your body. Like for me, for example, as I've been healing, I've been becoming more intimate with myself. And intimate meaning getting to know myself very intimately, my vulnerabilities, you know, listening to my body. What does my body need? And sometimes my body is like, you need to go to bed earlier, Nicole, or you need to take the day off to just sleep, or you need to rest, or tomorrow, you know, you need to go on a hike, you need to get into nature, you need to exercise, whatever it is, being more intentional about tuning into your own needs. Because when you do that, you change the frequency in your family. Other individuals, you don't have to say anything. They're just going to start doing things differently because the frequency is changing. It's no more circling, it's moving. It's moving up, you know, moving up, okay? The vibration is going to a different level, okay? Until we can receive with an open heart, we're never really giving with an open heart. When we attach judgment to receiving help, we knowingly or unknowingly attach judgment to giving help. So Brene Brown said this. This was a quote from her. Today, ask someone for help and receive it with an open heart. Your mantra, I ask for what I want and I'm open to receiving it. So for some of you, there is a wounding, and that's also going back to mother wounds, because the feminine energy is about receptivity. And when you have a wounded feminine energy, you feel like you don't know how to receive, or you don't know how to ask for help, or you have issues with receiving, you have issues with receptivity. So you're being asked to not judge yourself for needing help, you're being asked to release judgment, release criticism, and open yourself up to receiving help, because some of you do need help. And this may not be physical, it could be spiritual, it could be asking your ancestors for help, or your higher self, or whatever you resonate with. It could also be, again, physical, like saying, you know what, I do need help with this. And you're not going to tell yourself that, like, you're not good enough or you're not enough, because some of you could have grown up in an environment where when you asked for help, you were judged like, oh, you don't know how to do that, like you're not smart enough, or you're not capable enough, or you're not strong enough, or whatever. And that's not the case. We need support. We're here to support each other. And you are not meant to do everything alone. And, you know, for receiving help, allow yourself to receive it without judgment. It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the will and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. Wow. your mantra. I surrender. I accept all that I cannot change. I release the outcome and I joyfully trust the process. Okay. And, it says, know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God can produce miracles in your life. Wow. So beautiful. So, let go, Powell. One, you're being asked to surrender. Really let go and really dive into your faith. And even if you don't have the most faith, if you have a little bit of faith, you could just believe in deep within your soul that it's all going to work out. It's all going to align for you, and that you could let it go. You don't have to think about it. You could just let it flow and just let it go and surrender. Like, you know what? The higher power, the divine, God, source, spirit, the most high, Jesus, Allah, whatever you resonate with, the universe got this. Got this. It's happening. It's done. You don't have to stress. You don't have to worry. You don't have to think about it. Just surrender. So if no one told you they love you today, I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up for yourself and healing yourself and being on this journey. Love yourself, honor yourself, take care of yourself, respect yourself, respect your body, listen to your body, tune in and connect with what your body is telling you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I love you. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome. Welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love experience. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up for yourself, healing yourself, loving yourself. Thank you for being right here, right now. My name is Nicole. I'm so grateful you are here. You chose focus on children, pregnancy, birth, adoption. Okay. Let's get into this. So the toxicity or toxic traits or negativity within your family. So this could be an opening. I said this can be your blood family. This could be in-laws. This could be like soul family, friends that are family, whatever your family situation is in your family dynamics. Okay. You take it for how it resonates for you in your journey. It's going to be different for everyone, but there's toxic traits around, the connections, the relationships with children in the family, or the way the adults and the children connect. Okay. Trigger warning. I'm just going to just put that out there right now because this may be very triggering. Okay. But this is about us getting the truth out here and getting that out so then we can move forward, integrating that truth so we can heal it. Okay. So there is, again, toxicity around the way some adults connect with the connections and then dynamics with adults and children. There may be some ego battles here, like for some of you, adults feeling like they need to assert their authority with children, like being like very authoritarian with children in an unnecessary way. For some of you, it could be abuse around children, whether this is physical, emotional, SA, actual abuse. For some of you, this could also be letting children kind of like raise themselves, or putting children in adult situations, like, basically not really giving children the tools that they need it's almost just like, what do I want to say? Like, kind of like not really instilling the proper tools in children for them to be successful, kind of just like telling children certain things and just like letting go of like parenting at a very young age and putting children in adult situations where children are having to step up to be the adult in the family, or step up to have that adult role at a very young age. Okay. For some of you, this could also be just like toxic energy around like, oh, like it's so many kids in the family, or like, how many more kids are going to be in this family, how many more people are going to have kids, or how many kids do you have, kind of like shaming people for, say, for example, if someone in the family has 5 children, like shaming that person, like, why do you have 5 kids? Why didn't you just stop at 1 or 2? You only needed 2 kids. Why do you have 8? You know, that kind of energy I'm also getting, like people feeling ashamed for being fruitful and multiplying, you know what I mean? Or for some people, maybe they don't have children and they're being shamed for not having children. Like, well, when are you going to have kids? Or why don't you have kids yet? Or what is your problem? You know, what's wrong with you? Are you not working properly because you don't have children? So there is, I'm getting, again, a lot of toxicity around children, okay? And children coming into the family. And, you know, for some of you, I'm also getting colorism, okay? Trigger warning. Um, you know, looking at the complexion of children, judging the complexion of children. You know, why are they not light enough? Why are they so dark? What's their color going to be? Judging children's hair, you know, why is the texture of their hair this way? Why is their nose this way? You know, judging their features. There just seems to be a lot of like toxicity around children. Okay. And this is generational. This is not just like this happened in your generation or the previous. No, this is, for some of you, this has been going on. And I am, again, getting just like when someone gets pregnant, for some of you, this person is shamed or judged. Or if someone does not get pregnant, they're shamed or judged. Okay, let's just get some more. Let's get some more. Trigger warning. I just feel like this may be very triggering. And again, this could be things that you know already, but maybe this is going to just go more in depth or get more clarity, or maybe some of these things you didn't know, or maybe you did know and it's just bringing more awareness to it so it can come out so you can heal and move forward, okay? Because we're going to talk about at the end, how can you heal and move forward on your own journey, okay? Pile 2. Pile 2, toxicity, negativity in Pile 2's family. For Pile 2, please. Okay. All right, King of Swords, Queen of Sacred Circles. So that's Queen of Pentacles, the Star, and the Magician. Wow. Okay. Number 1, you have really powerful people in your family. Many of you come from, like, you know, master manifestors here. Your family is really strong with wisdom, with knowledge, with spiritual gifts. Like many of you, you have very, like, you could have psychics in your family, intuitive individuals. Many of you come from like shamans, healers. Like your family has a lot of gifts, and some of you may already be aware of this. You know, you may know that, like, you know, you have clairvoyant abilities or clair abilities. Like your family is very gifted with spiritual knowledge and spiritual wisdom and abilities here. Okay, it's very natural. But just because these things are very natural, I do feel for many of you, these things were either used in the wrong way, used improperly. So for some of you, there is an abuse of power energy within your lineage, okay? Using your gifts to either hurt people, harm people, or to cause destruction, okay? So that is a toxic trait as well, because for some of you, there is this situation of using your gifts not for the light, not for helping people, helping the situation, helping the family to move forward. For some of you, your family, you know, trigger warning here, your family has been cursed, okay? For some of you, that's not going to be for everyone. That's not for everyone. For some of you, like your family was cursed like generations ago because of what they did to people. So, you know, this is heavy, okay? Trigger warning. Like for some of you, it's like your family was like literally cursed. Like people put curses on your family because it's like your family caused like destruction or death for people. I'm like, this could be some generations ago. Okay, this may not be like your grandparents. Like this could be like 5, 6, 7 generations ago for some of you, but there was some curses put on the children in your family. Again, this is not for everyone. So for some of you, it could have been like children passing away at a young age, like babies dying, um, like babies dying in the womb, like a lot of miscarriages, or just like babies getting sick, or like children getting sick at the age of 4 and like they passed away at the age of 5. Like for some of you, this is the story because of the curse that was put on your family. Okay. But let's, gosh, I just keep wanting to like, my stomach is itching. So for some of you, there's just this energy here around, it's around the babies that come into like, it's a lot of toxicity that's put on the children that enter the family, and it's put on the children at a very young age. Whether this is like, for some of you, it's a situation where it's like the boys in the family are, told that they cannot cry. They're told to not show emotion. They're told to be strong. They're told to defend the family, defend the family's honor. But it's like, because they were told that they can't do this and they can't do that, and they can't express any kind of emotion and things like that, that energy manifested itself in other ways that were a bit darker, that were also detrimental to that person in their journey. Okay, for some of you, it's situations where it's like the girls in the family were told to like, like if you get a man, if you get a husband, certain things, like the man can do no wrong. The man is your life. The man has to, do this and has to do that. And it's not in a way of like some of those things were positive, but some of those things were also like, well, if the man is mistreating you, you just keep sticking around and taking it. Like stuff like that. Like being encouraged to, it's like children were programmed at a young age in the family, whether this was subconsciously or consciously, because sometimes it's subconscious with seeing dynamics in a family, and you subconsciously see that and you feel like, well, this is what you're supposed to do because this is what you see. But some of this, again, was conscious, where people in the family consciously told the children in the family, like, if you deal with this, you have to stick around, you have to take it, you have to be this way, or you have to show up this way, or you have to do things this way. For some of you, again, there's been abuse around the children in the family. Whether, again, it's mental, emotional, SA, physical, where children were abused at a very young age, and that purity and that innocence was taken away from them through that abuse, okay? And for some of you, again, this does not matter whether this is a boy or a girl or whatever the situation is. This is a strong energy within the family, because for some of you, it's like there was abuse going on and other members of the family knew about it and they didn't do anything about it. Like, say, for example, there was a verbal abuse situation going on and other members in the family would hear about it, or they knew that a child would be verbally abused or was being verbally abused, and no one would say anything. No one would stand up for that child. With this King of Swords here, this is definitely saying that, like, some of you may have experienced this yourself, but also, again, other members of the family, this has been going on for generations of, like that tough love, or like that, cutting tongue, or like that verbal abuse where it's like, you're never, like, you're being told you're not good enough, you're never enough, you can't do anything right, you're not enough, you're not strong enough, you're not man enough, you're not woman enough, you're not, like, it's just a lot of emphasis on you're not enough, okay? For some of you, again, children experience colorism at a very young age, or their features or the texture of their hair, or there's just a lot of judgment around that. For some of you, it could be a situation where you may have even felt like say for example, you are a black person watching this, someone, an African American here watching this. You may have felt like your hair was judged or your complexion was judged, or whether again this was conscious or subconscious, okay? Because some of this could have been not directly spoken to you, but some of this could have been subconscious where someone else you may have felt someone else was getting favored for their color, for their complexion, like if they had a lighter complexion, or they may have had what they would say better hair, quote unquote, good hair, right? Things like that. Maybe you felt that person receive favor over you in a subconscious way. And you may have felt at a young age that like you need to procreate with someone that is lighter than you, or a different race, a different culture than you, to have that approval, to have that quote unquote good hair, to have that quote unquote acceptable complexion, to have that quote unquote, favor from people in the family. Like for some of you, this is deep. This goes to like how you chose a partner, how you chose people that you felt attracted to. You may have unknowingly been subconsciously programmed to attract to people who are lighter than you, or people from a different race, because you were programmed to believe, or you were judged, or you were criticized for your color, your complexion, or you just saw that happening to other children in the family, however that goes, okay? I'm sending you a lot of love, because this is not easy to hear. And some of you, again, this is your own experience. So I'm sending you a lot of love right now. And I'm telling you right now, you are enough. And you've always been enough. You were born good enough, regardless of your color, regardless of your complexion, regardless of your hair. Your hair, your complexion, your body, your color is perfect and beautiful for you. You are exactly who you are meant to be. I love you, and you are loved, you are valued, you are supported. Shine and glow in your skin and in with your hair, in your complexion, and your body, because you are gorgeous. You are a shining star. The individuals that made you feel less than, they were dealing with their own, how they were raised, how they were brought up. And for some of you, say for example, you were a lighter complexion, or you were a complexion that was favorable to your family. Maybe you were programmed to believe that you needed to be with someone of the same color, or someone that has, again, quote unquote, good hair, or quote unquote, the right complexion, because you needed to keep that going. You needed to keep that color going for the next generation in your family. Like, you were told like, or again, whether it's subconscious or conscious, you were told like certain colors, certain complexions were not going to be acceptable in this family. Let's get some more. Okay, this is heavy. Whew. Let's get some more. Sending you so much love, Pautu. You are enough. You've always been enough. Pautu. Toxicity, negativity, and Pautu's family, please. Pautu. Pautu. Toxicity, negativity, and Pautu's family. All right. Let's get into this, okay? Fake friends. It's time to be vulnerable. Money is involved, cruel intentions, father wounds. Stop people pleasing, put yourself first. Okay, so these cards are pretty like straightforward and blunt, so trigger warning, okay? Family dinner, they put a spell on you. Go run, tell that. Family debt, wow. And we were just talking about that, how some of you, spells were put on your family, for a long time ago. and drug addict. Wow. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, how to. So, it's a lot going on here, okay? All right. So there is drug addictions within the family, okay? And this could be just not drugs, but it could be anything. It could be alcohol, it could be gambling, this could be work addiction, this could be a food addiction or like shopping or spending money addiction. There are addictions in the family, okay? And for some of you, it's because of, this, for some of you, that's a part of that curse, that spell work that's been put on your family. Like I said, for some of you, this goes deep. We're talking about generations ago. Like it could be like, again, like 6 generations ago, where there was some type of curse that was put on the family. And, which caused a lot of children to pass away or children to get sick. And it also caused addictions within the family. So, that could be connected for some of you, but for some of you, it could just be a situation where it's like, say, for example, children being put in adult roles at a very young age. Well, when children are put in those adult roles at a very young age, mentally and emotionally, they're not mature to handle adult situations. Like, they're not physically developed. Their brain has not developed in a way where they could really handle those adult situations. Or if it wasn't being put in an adult situation, it's that trauma or that abuse or whatever the situation is. So it's kind of like at a young age finding different ways to cope with what you're what's going on with you. Because again, for some of you in the family, whether it was a boy or a girl, I am feeling for some of you, it's a situation where you were told not to show emotion, not to cry, suck it up, keep going. What are you crying about? You need to be strong. You need to get over it. Things like that. Okay, so yeah, so it's, finding those ways to cope with those type of adult situations or the trauma or the abuse or whatever, at a very young age. And so those things could have caused addictions and an energy of addiction within the family, okay? Whether it was with you or, other individuals in the family, there has been a struggle, an addiction issue within the family. There are father wounds here. So with that being said, that's wounding around the masculine energy, okay? So that's that wounded masculine energy. So that's, that over controlling energy. Also, I'm getting domineering. I'm also, you know what? Okay, let me just say this. I don't know if some of you are dealing with interruptions or because I had to keep stopping this reading. Like little random things have happened. And then like I just heard like this door slammed really hard and it like made my door like made some movement on my door. And so, I pay attention to everything when I'm doing these readings. And so for some of you, you may be dealing with interruptions right now, or you may be dealing with, outside forces or energies trying to get you off your path or trying to like just interruptions, okay? Whatever that means for you. So just pay attention to that. That's just a side note for someone, okay? Just pay attention to situations that could be trying to get you off your path right now or things trying to interrupt things for you. Pay attention to that. But with the father wounds, that's the wounded masculine. So again, that's that controlling, like overly controlling. It could be like possessive energy, controlling energy, forcing energy, forcing yourself to do things, or, distorted masculine energy, trying to have this bravado or seem to be like hyper masculine or like not really having that that true like divine masculine, like an awareness around that true divine masculine energy, like feeling like you have to wear a mask or feeling like you can't be vulnerable. Because again, like some of you, there is this energy here where again, you were told that you couldn't have emotions. Emotions were for weak people. They were for people who are weak. And so you've been used to just not showing emotion. This is for some of you here. And that's very toxic, because I was mentioning this on Pile 1 as well, where it's like when you are not processing your emotions properly, that can create physical sicknesses and physical ailments, because that energy is just not, it's just sitting there. That energy of shame, pain, trauma, guilt, regret, bitterness, resentment, whatever it is, it's just within you and it's just not going anywhere. And so it will manifest to physical sicknesses and ailments. And so, that is a toxic trait within the family, not allowing individuals to be vulnerable, not allowing individuals to show their emotions or express their emotions or express how they feel, or, that wounded masculine energy, that distorted masculine energy, having to prove yourself to be super masculine, or having to prove that if you do this, you're the ultimate masculine. For some of you, it could be like, this unhealthy energy around competition. This could be so many different things. But there's also this energy of people pleasing. And so with the people pleasing, that's also toxic, because that's doing everything for everyone else and not knowing how to please yourself and please your journey. On our journeys, on our own individual journeys, we're not here to please others. Even though many of us have been programmed to believe that, that's not true. We're here to please whatever we resonate with, whether that, is source, the divine, the universe, God, spirit, Allah, Jesus, whatever it is that you resonate with here, the Most High. You are here to please that energy. And by doing so, that's doing what you were told to do on your journey and pleasing the things that your soul needs to accomplish here on earth. So some of you, and it's not just you, but it's other individuals in the family that have been programmed to believe that they have to people please, whether this is pleasing a parent, a grandparent, another family figure here, that you have to do things a certain way in order to win approval or feel loved or feel appreciated or feel worthy of love. It's like an energy here where it's like within your family, for some of you, you have to fight for love, or you have to prove yourself worthy of being loved, or you have to prove that you can accomplish certain things to win approval and to win the love, whether it's of your father, your mother, a grandparent, another family member, okay? For some of you, the family has like unhealthy patterns and behaviors in terms of money, okay? And this has caused like family debt, or this has caused like not paying bills on time, or not being financially responsible, or a lack of fiscal responsibility here, or a lack of fiscal awareness. Like for some of you, your parents didn't know how to manage money, or they weren't the best with money management, or there's a lot of family debt here, a lot of debt within the family, or like a family member passes away and the family is left with like all this debt and all these bills and all these things to sort out. So that is another toxic trait within the family. And for some of you, this is still going on, where it's like, it doesn't matter how much money the family has, it's never enough. Like, because there's mismanagement here. Excuse me. Okay, someone doesn't want me to say that, okay? It's like, if the family is wealthy, it still just doesn't seem like it's enough. It's always like a lot of credit card debt, or a lot of debt with other, business debt, or it's just a lot going on with that. It's like there's issues with managing money and issues with scarcity, because when there's money mismanagement issues, some of it is just like a lack of awareness or a lack of education. But when these things keep occurring, like it's continuous cycles around that, that's usually like a scarcity issue. That's usually like an addiction or a scarcity issue causing money issues and family debt. And this is a serious problem. And it's something where, again, like generational wealth that's been trying to be developed and built, but this family debt is really, subtracting from the generational wealth that's trying to be built. Like, whenever someone tries to really create that, poor decision making with money or money mismanagement or addictions are causing, the generational wealth energy to not expand the way it should. Because again, many of you have powerful members in your family. Like, there's no doubt there's a lot of gifts and power, and also favor and abundance is available to you and other individuals in your family. And this is nothing new. This has been going on for generations. And for some of you, it's like the previous generations had opportunity to build generational wealth, but because of their addictions or scarcity issues, or just, again, that lack of financial education and fiscal responsibility, it just went all into debt. So some of you may be trying to build generational wealth now for your family. And this is for you to know that you're more than capable of doing that. But there does need to be some more financial education and how to save, how to build, how to invest properly, some assistance and help around that. But also that's also, it's not just about that education and awareness, but it's also about healing addiction wounds, healing scarcity wounds. That goes hand in hand with that education, because you can have all the education and awareness in the world, but if you have an addiction around gambling, alcohol, drugs, shopping, spending money, it doesn't matter. It's going to go, all of that will go to your addiction or whoever has that addiction, because the addiction is going to take precedence over anything else. Education goes out of the window when someone has a problem. So that definitely, there needs to be some awareness around that, because again, many of you will get the seed for generational wealth if you have not already received it this lifetime. But for some of you, this is coming out to say, hey, your grandparents had the same thing. Your parents had the same thing. Even if you feel like, you may be like, Nicole, we grew up poor. We didn't have this. We didn't have that. I'm sitting up here telling you, with these cards coming out the way that they did, absolutely, there was a seed that could have been planted for generational wealth, regardless of the poverty or whatever it is that the family experienced. There was a gift, a seed. Again, a seed. That doesn't mean that that's going to grow overnight to give the family generational wealth. No, there was a seed given from the universe to plant, to develop generational wealth for your family, Pal-Tu. And that's something that was not nurtured. If it was planted, it wasn't nurtured properly, it didn't get what it needed to get to grow. A seed needs what? Water, sunlight, love, those type of things. So it didn't get what it needed to grow. And so if you have the seed, or you have been already, tending to the garden of generational wealth, keep going. But you do need to know that addictions and scarcity can make this thing fall apart. And so healing those wounds will bring that success for long-lasting generational wealth. Okay, now let's find out, how can you heal? Okay, now that you know this information, how can you move forward on your journey of healing and changing the narrative here, changing the story for your family? And this does not mean that you need to include other family members in on this. That's personal for you. That's going to be different for everyone. But as an individual, what do you need to know? Okay, Pal-Tu, healing and moving forward for Pal-Tu, please. Have courage. Reconnect with Mother Earth. Find your voice. Okay. All right, well, let's get some questions here. Questions you need to ask yourself for your own healing and moving forward for pile 2, please. I thought one of these wanted to flip. Okay, let's try this again. Pile 2. Pile 2, please. Pile 2, please. Okay. All right, so to where does my soul want to travel? Where can I create more space? Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Okay. All right, so let's talk about it, pile 2. Okay, so with this find your voice, this is going back to what we were talking about. Some of you, you've been programmed to be a people pleaser. Some of you have been programmed to do things to earn love. And again, I'm sending you so much love because for some of you, this is deep within your inner child, like wounding, deep wounding from childhood, where you felt like the only way to receive love is if you earned it. You know, you couldn't just receive love. You had to do things to get love, whether this was chores, whether this was getting good grades in school, or, you know, certain achievements, or, you know, whatever. Okay. So this is about you finding your voice and being vulnerable with yourself and expressing yourself. Okay. And that's going to be different for everyone because, again, this is not about like you need to pull everyone in on your family and like have a family meeting and say everything you want to say. And again, that's going to be different. Some people may want to do that. Not everyone wants to do that. Regardless of what your approach is, if you heal these things within yourself, it's going to change the frequency in your family. You know, you don't even need to tell anyone, you know, because some of you are very private here and you don't feel safe within the confines of your family. And that's totally okay. So for some of you, it's like, you do this healing work, it's just going to shift the frequency. It's an energy and it's a frequency that exists within your family. So when you do that individual work, it changes things. And it also shows that you're opening your energy up, removing those blockages and opening your energy up to the universe. Like you could be trusted with more seeds for generational wealth. You could be trusted with more wisdom. You could be trusted with more abundance. Things like that. Like I said, some of you are meant to build generational wealth, you know, and it's big for you. And you may feel that, I'm not trying to say that there's pressure here, but you may feel that, you know, like you may feel this energy of, you know, you have to make it right. You know, that is a big part of your purpose to bring that to your family, regardless of who really benefits from that, you know, whether it's your children or other family members. You just know that that's something that you are here to do, and you're very clear on that. And so finding your own voice, this is about you, again, being vulnerable, opening up and expressing yourself the way you're able to do so, whether that is by yourself or whether this is with other individuals or both. Because when you begin to really be vulnerable with yourself, I always say it starts with you first. Like, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, when I started to really be vulnerable with myself, that allowed me to become emotionally open and emotionally available to other individuals where I was not in that place before. I thought I was, but I really wasn't. And so it really starts with you. You're being asked to reconnect with Mother Earth. Some of you, part of your generational wealth is like, as I was referencing before, you know, like planting a garden, or like, you know, whether this is metaphoric or, you know, whatever the situation is, but something to do with the earth here. The earth is very important and prominent for your healing process and for your journey. And for some of you, you know, it could be starting a literal garden or like a farm or, you know, whatever. But this is also saying that like the more you heal with Mother Earth, the more you heal with the elements, the earth, the water, the air, the fire, the more you reconnect and ground your energy, the more harvest you will reap, the more abundance you will receive. And Mother Earth will be very healing for you. Really, grounding, getting your feet in the grass, laying out in the grass, you know, getting in the ocean, getting in the lake, having your feet in the sand, laying out on the sand, or just hugging a tree, or just really being in nature. Nature is not only going to heal you and rejuvenate you, but it's also going to give you inspiration, creativity, and ideas. Okay? You're being asked to have courage. Many of you are a leader. You're a leader in your family, or you're that person that's doing your own thing, or you're just a leader, or you're just here to show that fearlessness, that warrior energy, and have that strength. So the more you tap into that, like for example, that example I was using before, how some of you were told at a very young age, not to cry, not to show weakness, not to show vulnerability. Although at the time that was something that was detrimental to your growth and your maturity, that built something within you that was necessary. Anytime someone, I always try to look at it like this, like like the Bible would say, like, when someone tried to do something for evil, God turned it into good. Like, although that was a hindrance to your development, and that's something that, you are balancing out and learning more about that now, that still built character within you. That still built like perseverance and like bravery, and like, how to have that brave face, or how to, hold things down, or to be strong in adversity, in times of like challenge and obstacles and stuff like that. So it did build that warrior energy within you. But now it's just time to it's time to find that strength and vulnerability. It's time to find that strength in your emotions. It's time to find that strength and like opening up and self-expression. And that's going to be whatever way it is for you. Like, no one could tell you how to express yourself. No one could tell you how to be vulnerable. No one could tell you how to show up, like, in terms of like your energy and your dominant frequency, like whether you identify as a masculine, a feminine, or just an individual here, whatever that is for you. No one could tell you how to behave and how to be and how to show up. So putting those things in perspective, but also again balancing that energy. Now let's look at these questions. Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Okay, the feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Today's soul action. Heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. My soul's truth is. So for some of you here, there could be shame around abuse. There could be shame around the programming, or shame around your complexion, or your hair, or, your features, things like that. Wherever there is shame here, that for many of you, we're talking about the toxicity within the family. This is something that was projected onto you in childhood, or projected onto you from your family. This is not something that you thought of yourself. Let's put this in perspective again. You didn't think that way. You didn't think that way of your color. You didn't think that way of your hair. That energy was projected onto you or programmed into you at a young age to look at yourself as not good enough, or that the abuse or the trauma that you dealt with made you feel not good enough, made you feel less than or not worthy. And so, are you ready to release it? Are you ready to really let that go? And this is going to be released on your own time, but you're being asked to let it go. And this card comes up for me when it's time to release it. Like when it's like you've been holding on to it long enough, you're ready to release it. Like you're ready to let it go, okay? But again, that's on your own journey, okay? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, Create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. Do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, and innermost self. Make space, clarity will come. So, some of you are being asked here to do a detox, declutter, like declutter your home, declutter your schedule, declutter your mind. You know, there needs to be space for clarity here. So, for some of you, you're being asked again to clean up your home, clean up your schedule, or maybe you have too much busy work going on, or you have too much going on in the mind, and you're really being asked to declutter those things so you can have clarity, you can have balance, you can have more of a groundedness. When we travel, we grow. We open up our little worlds to more adventure, thrills, patience, understanding, trust, and oneness. Our hearts and minds expand and our desires are satisfied. Where is your soul calling you to visit? Pick a location on your desired list. Choose a date when you will get there and start planning. Create a Pinterest board or start searching on travel sites for the best restaurants. Anything that will create movement to let the universe know you are ready to make it happen. Believe you can. So this is saying to you, like, the universe is saying, or whatever you resonate with here, is saying, where do you want to go, Paltu? Where does your soul want to go? Because this is literally an invitation for you to put your order in. An invitation for you to put your order in. When I work with my clients sometime, and I think I've said this on the channel, it's like you really have to look at it like when you go to a restaurant or when you go to anywhere and you place an order, you're not going there and saying, oh, I don't know, just give me whatever you have. You're specific, you're looking at the menu, you're looking at things. So the universe is saying, where does your soul desire to travel to? And not only that, let's take it a step further. Start looking on sites, travel sites. Start looking at your calendar. When are you available to go? Make that movement. Look at restaurants or get in the energy. Maybe you want to go look at fashion, go look at some clothes, go look at some things that you would buy to take on your trip. Make that movement. Put yourself in the energy of the trip is already booked and you're just waiting to go, and believe that it will happen. Believe that this trip will happen for you, okay? But the universe is like, okay, where do you want to go, Paltu? Here's your invitation. You just have to say where you want to go and put the movement in to make it happen and let the universe do the rest. This doesn't mean that you're like thinking about it all the time. You're holding on tight. You're like, oh, if I don't travel, next month, then no, you're not micromanaging the situation. You're letting it go, but you're intentional and you're showing the universe that this is what you desire. And for you're desiring for your desires to be met and for this to happen. So if no one told you they love you today, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And thank you for being here and doing this healing work. And I also heard, I want to just mention that like also think about the people, or if it's a solo trip, maybe it's a trip by yourself, or the people or the person that you would want to travel with. Think about that too. Okay, that's a message for someone. But love yourself, honor yourself, cherish yourself, continue to heal. I'm so proud of you. You are enough. Continue to tell yourself that and reaffirm that within yourself and within your soul. The hard work is paying off. Keep going. You got this. I love you. I'll see you next time. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome. Welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love experience. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for choosing to show up for yourself, love yourself, and choosing to heal, okay? So you chose be thankful, gratitude, appreciation, harmony. So toxicity and toxicity and negativity within your family for pile 3. So there are toxic traits around a lack of gratitude and appreciation, okay? Um, so let me also say this, and I said this in the other readings as well, in case you missed the beginning, the opening. This could be around your toxic traits and negativity with your blood family, your soul family, in-laws, friends that you consider family, whatever the situation is for you and how that resonates for you, okay? Um, just to put that in there. So there's a lack of appreciation in the family. Now, this could be a lack of gratitude for like overcoming challenges and obstacles, or a lack of gratitude for people in the family, like individuals in the family. Say, for example, for some of you, I am getting like um, a lack of gratitude for like what the previous generation was able to do for the next generation, or a lack of gratitude for like what individuals in the family bring to the family dynamics, whether this is like inspiration, knowledge, wisdom, material things. There's just a lack of appreciation and a lack of gratitude. For some of you, this lack of gratitude could be for like the ancestors or the universe or source, God, the divine, spirit, the Most High, Allah, whatever it is for you, okay? There could be also that lack of gratitude or that lack of appreciation. But there's also just like a lack of harmony with the family dynamics. Like, you know, because there's a lack of gratitude or a lack of appreciation, this throws off the dynamics of harmony within the family, meaning that individuals in the family have a difficulty coexisting together or gathering without there being drama. Or it's like, say, for example, there is a family reunion or a family gathering, a family dinner. The focus is not on grateful, like gratitude and appreciating the people that are there, appreciating that people are healthy, or appreciating that you're able to have this fellowship, you're able to have this time together to connect and be together. Is, the focus is on other things. The focus is on things that don't really matter, or things that are not helping the family to move forward or helping the family to grow and expand. It's like being grateful that the family is able to gather, being grateful that you all are here, and, people are healthy, or people are able to be here, like things like that. Like, there's a lack of focus on the gratitude of the situation and being grateful. And that changes the dynamics. It changes because if people were able to focus more on gratitude, they wouldn't be focusing on drama or, gossip or judgment or criticism or all those other lower level frequencies. There would be more of an appreciation for fellowship and connection, and that understanding that, you know, everyone being able to be here together is a blessing. Like, this is abundance. This is not something where drama needs to be kicking off, or confrontation, or, it needs to, like, the family lacks being able to see the higher perspective of the situation and misses those moments of gratitude or appreciation for things like that, okay? And this is also, I do feel like, individual, like it could be just like individuals in the family lack appreciation for things, like lack appreciation for the type of life that they live, or the things that they're able to receive, or the things that they're able to do, or the type of talents that they have, or gifts and things like that. It could just be a lack of gratitude overall. So let's find out some more. Toxic traits and negativity in Pile 3's family, please. Pile 3. Toxic traits, negativity in Pile 3's family, please. Okay. The Magician, Princess of Staves. So that's Princess of Wands, the Lovers, and the Fool. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. Okay. Pile 3. So some of you could be here from pile 2, but you don't have to be. Um, it's a different story, but I am picking up on that energy. Just some of you could be here from pile 2. So thanks for being here. What I'm getting, pile 3, is for number one, many of you have a very powerful family, okay? Some of you come from, like, not even just like the people that are living are powerful and gifted in whatever way that they are gifted, but you have a powerful lineage. Like, you have powerful ancestors here. You have, um, when energies pass on, there's still a lot of power in those souls. And those souls are equipped to help the next generation, even when they move on and pass on to the other side and, pass on to the next part of their journey. They have energy to still support and help, your generation and the generations to come. And again, there is a lack of appreciation. There's a lack of, like, some individuals in the family feel like everything that they were able to achieve was because of them. And it's like, it's not to say that that individual or people in the family didn't work hard or didn't do what they needed to do to make those achievements, but it's deeper than that, and it's like a big toxic trait in the family for pile 3 is a lot of egoic energy, meaning like individuals feel like they have achieved certain things because they did it on their own. And again, this is not to say that those individuals did not do what they needed to do, like they didn't put in a lot of work, or they didn't put in the necessary time, energy, dedication, and effort to make the achievements that they did. But there's also, again, just this lack of appreciation and gratitude for the people that came before them, or the people, the ancestors, or stuff like that. It's like individuals in your family, pile 3, have issues with giving other people credit or giving other people that honor, that, like, although the previous generation, like, each generation is building on something bigger, the family story, the family history, where things are going. Now, are we saying that everyone in the family does everything right? No. We know that sometimes people have their own challenges and they choose a different path that may not be the best path for the family. However, certain individuals did what they could with the circumstances that they had and what they were able to do. And so there is a lack of honor and appreciation for what that person did or what that generation did or where they were able to take the thing to open up the pathway for the next generation, or another individual in the family, or how they were able to inspire or, again, open up new opportunities in another door for other individuals in the family. And this is not just like physical beings, it's also, again, the ancestors. And for some of you, it could be a thing where it's like, you are now getting more in tune with that, like ancestral support, ancestral love, things like that. The support, again, from the spiritual realm and the ancestors, where the previous generations, they did not tap into that energy. They didn't know how, or they just didn't do it. So that's really what I'm getting. We're going to get some more out, pile 3, but that has been a huge hindrance to the growth and expansion of your family, because that lack of appreciation and gratitude has caused blockages for the family progress, the family expansion, things to move forward in a healthy way for the family. Now, this is not to say that the family doesn't still move forward and expand and grow. I do see that, but I do see that things could have been differently if more appreciation and gratitude was given for different members of the family or ancestors in the spiritual realm, okay? Another toxic energy within the family is also around romantic relationships, okay? I'm definitely getting that there's a lot of codependent energy within romantic dynamics in your family, meaning that people are together when like relationships stay together during toxic patterns, toxic times, or like codependent, being addicted to each other or addicted to toxic love, or, accepting toxicity in romantic relationships, or like abuse in relationships, whether it's emotional, physical, verbal abuse, um, things in romantic relationships, okay? There's just been like an acceptance of toxicity, toxic behavior, or like codependent behavior, or, stuff like that within the relationship dynamics. Like some of you may be in a situation where there hasn't really been healthy romantic relationships in your family. Like, you may be the one changing the story for that. You may be the one bringing in or aligning to a healthier romantic connection, because that just is something that doesn't get done in your family. Like, if it's not an abusive situation, it's very codependent, or if it's not codependent, it's choosing a partner out of the energy of scarcity, like being with this person because you feel like you can't, like scarcity, like almost like survival. Like you tell yourself, okay, if you break it off with this person, you can't get with someone else, or you can't find a better partner, or you can't build with someone else. Like programming around scarcity and staying in toxic situations, or accepting bare minimum in a romantic relationship. Because for some of you, it could be like romantic relationships collapsed, or members in your family would accept bare minimum from a romantic partner, like basically next to nothing. And like say for example, it could be a situation where there was like a grandmother and a grandfather, or like a great grandmother that accepted like basically nothing from her partner, and gave so much to her partner, creating that imbalance of a relationship where, one person was giving so much more than the other person, and the other person wasn't really giving anything to that other person. So stuff like that. There's unhealthy romantic relationship dynamics, and it could be like cheating in relationships, betrayal, lying, abuse, things like that, where it's like, again, there really hasn't been healthy romantic relationship dynamics in a relationship. Like, in the family, most of the romantic relationships have been pretty toxic, or a lot of toxic behaviors. And there just hasn't been that healthy set of circumstances. Okay, now let's get some more. Let's find out some more. What else is going on here? Toxicity and negative traits or behaviors for Pile 3's family. Let's find out some more. Okay, this flipped. Pile 3, please. Okay, do I need more? I'm just going to get one more off the top. Okay. Poison is the food. Social media, something ain't right at church. Okay, so these, I'm just going to say trigger warning. These cards can be pretty blunt. Give the offering, give the ancestors an offering. What happened in the bathroom? Family vacation. Misuse of spiritual power. The Bible said. Okay. Father. What happened in the basement? Blocked memories. I thought I needed more, but I really didn't, but whatever is meant to be. Nosy Nancy. And the child is not yours. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it, pile 3. For some of you, there is a situation here where children have been born in the family to a certain, say for example, grandparents, a grandmother and a grandfather had a child, okay, in the family. That child was not really the grandfather's child, okay? So we have situations here where for some of you, this may not be for everyone, but for some of you, you have children that were born in your family that was not really their father. The father that they told everyone that was that child's father, that's not true. And I do feel that that's not just for like one child for some of you in the family. That's again, that's like more than one situation. So that's going back to again this card here, the lovers here. It's going back to unhealthy dynamics in romantic relationships. Now, this again could be just relationships, period, in your family. You take what resonates, but I'm definitely getting again that romantic relationship, okay? And so, if, say, for example, again, two people in the family, they're, married or, they have a situation, they're having children together, they're together, and, a child or two were passed off to be that father's child, but that's not really the case. And it's kind of like a family secret. So there's family secrets around that for some of you. And for some of you, this is a situation where this is not even just like happened once or twice. This could have even happened with other individuals in the family where, the child is not really that person's child, but people know it, but nobody really talks about it, okay? But some people, there are some nosy people. So with this nosy Nancy, some people have uncovered some of the family secrets around that, like around like whose child is whose. For some of you, I'm getting that like there could also be a situation where, say for example, this child was told that their parents were these individuals, but their parent was really their aunt, or their father was really their uncle. Something like that could be the case for some of you too. Like, and that could be even for you. Like you were told that your mother and your father were these individuals, but later someone told you, or you came to find out that wasn't your parents. That's what they told you, but your aunt was really your mom, or, your uncle was really your father, something like that. So there is an energy of that for some of you in your family. With this blocked memories, there's blocked memories that either you have or other individuals in the family have around certain situations. And these situations could have occurred in a bathroom or a basement, okay? So there are blocked memories here where it could have been a situation of abuse, or like an argument, or just something traumatic happened. For some of you, it could have been like a death, okay? Like someone was, died in a bathroom, or someone died in the basement, or, someone lied about how someone passed away. I am getting that for some of you. Say, for example, let's just say a cousin passed away in a bathroom or a basement, and, someone that was in the house, they said they don't know what happened. They don't know how that person died. And it just was a lot of mystery around that person's death. I am getting that. that there's some type of secrets around that, or mystery around that, or blocked memories, or someone did something to someone else and they blocked out what they did in their memory, and they really hurt someone, and it could have really hurt someone in a very traumatic way. So for some of you, that is the case. For some of you, there is toxicity around abuse of power. Okay. I think I talked about that for this pile as well. I know I talked about that in pile 2, that your family is very powerful. And so for some of you, that power was abused. That power, that spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom, spiritual gifts, they were used to cause hurt, harm, or destruction for other individuals. And it was not used to help people. It wasn't used in a loving way to lead people, to guide people, to help people. So for some of you, this could be your father. Your father could have abused his power, or your father could have abused power, the type of gifts or knowledge that he had. He could have misused it. For some of you, it may not have been the father. It could have been a grandfather or a male figure in the family, okay, that abused their power, or male figures in your family, masculine energies in your family have abused their power. So for some of you, this goes pretty deep, and this may not even just be like, again, it may not even be like your father or your grandfather. This could be like ancestral, generations ago this was going on, because many of you, again, you have very powerful ancestors here, and you have very powerful people in your family. Whether individuals are tapping into the gifts that they have, that's not the story for this right now, but the power is there. The gifts are there. The knowledge and the wisdom is there. And so this could be something that had been going on generations ago. Take what resonates to your situation. There's also this situation here where individuals in the family are judgmental and critical of people via social media. It could be like, certain people have, on social media, whether they have a following, supporters, a platform, and individuals are jealous of certain individuals that have that, or individuals are jealous of other individuals' social media. Okay, so there's something here with social media that may not be for everyone, but jealousy regarding social media, especially if you or other individuals have some sort of platform, notoriety, supporters, fans, fame, whatever. There is jealousy here with social media. There's also, with this give the ancestors an offering, this is going back to, again, so with the give the ancestors an offering, this is just a message for you, pile 3, to give your ancestors an offering. But this is also saying that, like, again, this is that lack of appreciation. Whether you, and this could be something, again, that you are now opening yourself up to. Like, you're opening yourself up to having a connection with your ancestors. Whereas, like, the previous generation, or the previous, like the last 2, 3, 4 generations had no awareness around that. You're bringing that energy into the family now, where you are not only doing this, but then you could teach the next generation, and then it will continue to be a better situation. But with the give the offering, again, that's a side note, pile 3, for you to give an offering to your ancestors, but to keep that going, and that's very important, to show your gratitude, show your appreciation, and show your appreciation to other individuals in the family. But yeah, that's been an issue, because this is coming up again around offerings for the ancestors. There's also issues around the connection with food for the family. So for some of you, this could be just like unhealthy habits with food, or like the way the like food would be prepared, like eating unhealthy, or like eating, like, say for example, eating a lot of food with a lot of salt, or like unhealthy cooking, like eating fried food all the time, or just like eating food that's like very unhealthy to the body. Okay, so that's something also that's being pointed out. And for some of you, it could be a thing where, individuals, their sense of comfort in life was compromised due to their eating habits and like their diet and like the type of food that they would eat, like their sense of like being able to enjoy life was shortened or compromised. Like they may have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or heart problems or heart disease, and things like that because of the type of connection with food. So that's something else that could be a toxic trait for some of you. But there's also this connection with religion. With this something's not right at church. This is saying that like there's been like issues with like religion, or issues with like some individuals being on board with religion and some are not on board with it, or some individuals choosing a more spiritual pathway versus religion, or some individuals choosing a different religion from what the family has chosen to be a part of. So there's been issues with that. And so going back to that first card with about when we were talking about appreciation and gratitude, like, although everyone may not be a part of the same religion, it's about having that appreciation for that individual and that you respect that individual and what they believe in. And even though, you may not understand it, you may not be in agreement with it, but you have that level of respect for that person. And, you don't judge that person, you don't criticize that person, you don't, hold anything against that person for their own sense of beliefs and what they choose to do. So that's something else that's prominent within the family, that like it could be a situation for some of you where everyone is expected to be a part of the same religion. And when someone chooses not to do that, that person is like a black sheep, or there's someone that's not accepted, or there's someone that's judged or criticized, or people feel like there's something wrong with that person. Okay, now let's find out, what can you do to heal? Okay, let's see, what can you do to heal, pile this is pile 3, because this is for you and you being able to heal personally on your own journey. You are on your own individual journey. So how can you heal to move forward for pile 3? Okay, and let's also get some questions. Okay, some questions for you to ask yourself for your healing and, advice. Let's see. Pile 3, please. Pile 3. Okay. All right. Remember who you are. Psychic strength. Shine brightly. Okay. To whom am I comparing myself right now? What can I do to make a difference? How can I be more flexible right now? Okay. So you're being asked to, remember who you are. And for some of you, this is going to be a very personal thing for you. Again, very individual, because this is about, for me, when I see that remember who you are card, that is all about your ancestors, your lineage, your culture, your ancestors, what they stood for, what they believed in, who they were, what they were all about, and really getting more in tune with the history of that. And that's some of that lost ancient wisdom, because for some of you, again, this is going to be something that you are tapping into on your own journey, where you are getting more in tune with that energy, where, that's something, again, the previous generations were just not connected with. And so this could be a thing where it's like you start doing research on your family history, or, you talk to your ancestors and get messages from them, however this shows up, and you're able to really tap into more of your culture, your ancestors, and the wisdom that they have that they want to give to you. Because ancestral wisdom is a gift, ancestral knowledge is a gift. And if you make yourself available to that, to receive it, it's there for you to receive, but it's just how you tap into it. So many of you are being encouraged to just dig deeper into your story, your family story, through the generations, dig deeper into your culture, your beliefs, and get more connected and in tune with your ancestors. And, you could have an ancestral altar, or, you can go into nature and talk to your ancestors, or through meditation. You can ask your ancestors to send you signs or synchronicities to, get more clear on, are they talking to you, or do they hear what you're saying to them? Like, say, for example, you take some time in nature to talk to your ancestors. You could say, like, ancestors, please show me this animal. You could say, please show me a lion. And then, the next day or something, you see a lion and you see a number synchronicity like 777, or, whatever it is. You can be very specific with it, but open yourself up to getting more in tune with your ancestors so you can receive that knowledge and wisdom. Because again, psychic strength, like, you're very psychically strong or intuitive, or your family has a many psychic gifts, or there's a lot of psychic strength here for you and your lineage. Again, some of you have a lot of ancient knowledge and wisdom available from your ancestors that they want to give to you. So this is saying for you to tap into that, and for you to trust yourself, trust your intuition, because the more you trust your intuition, the more that knowledge just flows through you and it just comes to you. But when we're in this place where we're doubting, where we're like, no, that sounds crazy. Most of the time, the things that sound the craziest are the things that are so true. It sounds crazy because the world that we live in tells us that all these different things, are just out of this world, or insane, or crazy. But those are typically the things that are true. The things that I've found on my journey, the things that sound so crazy are the things that is absolutely the truth. So, that's different for everyone, but I'm just, giving that. Someone needs to hear that. But you have a lot of psychic strength and you have a lot of psychic protection. But the more you get to know yourself and your ancestors and your family and the history of that, the more those gifts will be exposed to you, and you will be more in tune with your gifts. You're being asked to shine brightly, to be proud of yourself, be proud of your family, be an individual in your family, but to shine with confidence, that divine confidence, and to shine really brightly where, say, for example, again, you're going on a different path from your family. You have a different set of beliefs or a different religion, or you're just doing your own thing. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of that bravery that you have within. Be proud that you are an individual and that you do your own thing. And even though they may not respect you, that you're still going to be confident. You're still going to shine. You're still going to be proud of who you are and an individual, okay? Let's see this. How can I be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Remind yourself all day long that you are saved, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. Then do some yoga. Yeah. So for some of you, you're really being asked to really release control right now and ask yourself, what are you trying to control? Like, are you trying to control the way people see you? Or are you trying to control your image? Or are you trying to control, like, whatever? It could be anything. It could be like something growing in your life or something expanding. Whatever it is that you feel like you could be trying to control, and it could be more than one thing, you're being asked to surrender it and let it go and let love come in and know that it's aligning for you and everything is happening for your highest good. And it says do some yoga because it's like when you do that, you move the energy. You move the energy and you keep affirming to yourself that you are safe, but that energy is able to move and, be released from your body physically, and you're going to feel better, okay? What can I do to make a difference? What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it? Such that every ounce of you screams no more. Where can you create purpose out of your pain? Make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference. So many of you are being asked to just really get clear on like what this card says, like what keeps you up, what gets you so like annoyed and angry and like something needs to change. Something needs like this can no longer keep going like this. Like this doesn't serve, you or the collective or humanity. Where can you make a difference? How can you help someone? How can you make a difference in someone else's life? And again, big or small, it all makes a difference. It all adds up, So how can you make a difference? To whom am I comparing myself right now? What you are able to see in another is only visible because it is within you, ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. All that you need and want is within you. Okay, today stop comparing and start creating. So, this is a reminder that when you see someone else and you feel like this other person has something that you don't have, that's not true. Okay? You already have it within you. It's ready to be brought out. It's ready to shine. And we have a synchronicity here where it's saying, shine brightly, shine light. Like you are ready to shine, Pal 3. And the things that you have that you may look to someone else like, oh, they have this and they have that and I don't have that. Like that's not true. And so for you to acknowledge that and for you to acknowledge that you already have it, you're ready to bring it out in whatever way that's individual for you. Because again, you are an individual. And this card here says shine brightly individuality. So how that trait or that quality or that characteristic shows up in another individual, it's going to show up in you the way that it's meant to show up in you, individual for you, customized for Pal 3 and Pal 3's journey. So all that you need and want is within you. So stop comparing yourself to other individuals and remember who you are and shine bright and create. Continue to heal and create and be the best version that you can be. And anything that's stopping you from that, that's why your ancestors are saying, remember who you are. It's already there. You have it. Remember your psychic gifts or your strength. Remember how you know how to shine, and you know how to shine as an individual, and you are loved and you are accepted and you are worthy and you are deserving, and it's already within you. So if no one told you they love you today, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for healing. Thank you for doing this work. Thank you for being an individual and shining brightly and doing all the things that you are here to do to make a difference for humanity. Love yourself, honor yourself, cherish yourself, be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, give yourself empathy, compassion, and grace. Be brave, fearless, and bold. I love you. I'll see you next time.